Hi guys, welcome to my channel. And it's just in breaking news. Vybz Kartel has been denied bail. Let's get into it because this is crazy. And I'm taking this from Jamaica Observer, and it says dancehall star Vybz Kartel and two of his three co-accused will remain behind bars after a judge rejected the habeas corpus application submitted by their attorneys Thursday. Supreme Court Justice Andrea Thompson handed down the ruling a short while ago. In denying the application, Thompson said in the absence of a verdict or acquittal by the Privy Council, the charge of murder remains in effect. So she is saying that the Privy Council didn't give a definitive answer of an acquittal for Vybz Kartel and his three co-accused. So the murder charge remains in effect. And this is just my opinion. I'm going to go to Google and we're going to figure out what squashed means in British terminology, because that is Jamaica's High Court. And according to Google, it says if someone in authority squashes a decision or a judgment, they officially reject it. The appeal court has squashed the convictions of all 12. It is a verb, noun. The synonyms for squash is overturned. You guys know what overturn mean, right? The synonym for squash mean reverse. You know what reverse mean, right? The synonym for squash mean cancel. You guys know what cancel mean, right? What is funny to me is how Google is free, and Google is free for everyone to use. And these are highly educated people that stand in positions of power, that is put in positions of power to protect people's rights, and they're trampling on this man's rights. She's saying that there is an absence of a verdict or acquittal by the Privy Council is weird. I guess they have a different definition of squash that we don't know about, or they cannot read in between the lines of what squash means, or the logical reasoning went out the door because this is a Vybz Kartel's case, or they're flexing their muscle and their power. And this is just my opinion right here. And from this morning, when the whole thing went on where she said she's going to school Vybz Kartel's lawyer, I already knew that this was about to be a denial. She sounded very emotional. She sounded like she had a vendetta against Vybz Kartel and his lawyers. Me, it feels like because Vybz Kartel case went all the way to Privy Council, and Privy Council said that the trial judge didn't do their job. They said the appeal judges didn't do their job, and they don't know why did this case make it all the way to the Privy Council, because it shouldn't have. And they probably feel like they are incompetent. They probably feel like ISAT and Vybz Kartel made them look incompetent, like they're dunce, like they don't know how to do their jobs. And anybody in positions of power that cannot do their jobs without being emotional or without having a vendetta to prove a point should not be in positions of power. You shouldn't be flexing your muscles when people's lives are in your hands. This, to me, is a slap in the face. And quite frankly, if you look at the US laws, if you look at England laws, anybody's verdict that have been reversed, overturned, squashed, they were given bail. Constitutionally, This is against people. This would be against Vybz Kartel's constitutional rights. If the verdict was squashed by the highest court and you send it back, and now another judge is not listening to what the highest judge has to say, what does that tell you about Jamaica's justice system? If the highest judge said this is squashed, overturned, overruled, and they send it back to Jamaica and they say, no, you're staying in jail, what does that tell you about Jamaica justice system? There is no recourse and there is no one to help Jamaican people when they are in problem. Jamaica's judicial system needs to stay under the British monarchy for this very reason. Because now Vybz Kartel is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to have to sit in jail until they make their decision on whether there should be a retrial or not. And if they do say there's going to be a retrial, then I think that he's going to sit in there until the whole trial is done and over with. And that is crazy. If you look at any case in the US or in England, that is unconstitutional. His civil rights are being trampled on. And this is why they don't want to change and update Jamaica's laws, because they're so archaic. They're so old. They are allowed to do stuff like this and say it is within the law that they're doing it. This is why I feel like a lot of people in positions of power, they go there, they don't change any laws, they don't update anything, because it allows them to be who they are, corrupt, manipulate, and do whatever they feel like under the guise of the laws are old and we haven't updated them, so this is how it's going to be. Wednesday, members of the prosecution and the defense made arguments in Kartel's habeas corpus case, which would have determined whether the artist would have been freed. Lawyers representing Kartel and two of his three co-accused filed a habeas corpus application seeking their release on Monday, May 14th, because of issues the defense did not wish to disclose. The application follows the Privy Council March 14 ruling that Kartel and his co-accused have their convictions overturned for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. The Privy Council had ordered that the case be returned to Jamaica's appeal court to decide whether a retrial is necessary for Kartel and his co-accused Sean Storm Campbell, Kahir Jones, and Andre St. John. The Privy Council's ruling followed an appeal made in February by lawyers representing the then convicts, who argue as various grounds included the admissibility of telecommunications evidence, the allegation of jury misconduct, and pressure on the jury to reach a verdict. Since the ruling, the artist has remained in prison. Shortly after, Kartel questioned the need for a retrial in his statement to Fox 5 News, saying, "I feel victorious in this very moment, as the Privy Council, in their infinite wisdom, understood the assignment and remedied the situation by squashing my conviction. I am now back to being an innocent man in the eyes of the law. A grave injustice was done to me and my co-accused in the original trial, and my cries were heard in the land's highest court." He added, "I am confident that the Court of Appeal in Jamaica will do the right thing in the name of equity, fairness, and justice and free us." Some people have expressed their concern to me that a retrial may be ordered, but to them I may say, what is there to retry? And I'm going to say this. I respect Vybz Kartel as an individual. I respect him as an artist. And most importantly, I respect him as a human being. And for this, I feel like this is no longer about Clive Lizard Williams' case. I feel like this is about Vybz Kartel, the influence and power he has, even though he has been behind bars for a decade. This is no longer about a murder case. This is about Vybz Kartel bucking Jamaica's justice system. This is about Jamaica justice system and Vybz Kartel trying to stand up for himself and for others that are like him or in positions like him. He is trying to force Jamaican system to upgrade with the times and update these crazy laws that they still have in place that are old and archaic. What I want the judge to do after this is said and done, because Justice Andrea Thompson, I understand you went to law school, you're in a position of power, you are the top. Put it down in writing exactly where in Jamaica's law, exactly where in Jamaica's constitution that it says that a squash verdict from Jamaica's highest courts allows you to now keep a man in jail. That's what I want her to point out, because anybody with eyes can see that this whole case is foolishness, especially if you are around different judicial system, for example America, Canada, and England. You can see the holes, you can see the biases, you can see the part of Jamaica judicial system that is left down to people in positions of power to interpret the way that they want to and how they feel. Let me put in a layman terms and how I see it and my opinion. Miss Andrea Thompson said, okay, I sat, you think no bad, on carry the case, go up Privy Council, make all of we as appeal judge look dumb, look incompetent. Well, then send it back to Jamaica. So now we're just gonna do what we feel like to do. Okay? And whatever we feel like to do or what we think is right is what we're going to do. And with that being said, I'm going to say this. They're definitely going to hold Vybz Kartel in jail until they get a retrial. And to me, I already can feel, especially I had hope, especially with this judge, Andrea Thompson. I had hope that in Jamaica judicial system that in this case, especially where the bear hearing is concerned, that they were going to do the right thing. But now I've seen that their mind is made up. And I'm going to say this and mark my words. They're definitely the three judges that are going to rule on whether they're going to be a retrial or not. They have already made up their mind. There is going to be a retrial for Vybz Kartel murder conviction, because all these judges, especially the Supreme Court judges, know each other. They are quite aware of what the first judge did, the trial judge. They're quite aware of what the appeal judge did in this case, and they're quite aware of the Privy Council judge said about the trial judge and the appeal courts in Jamaica. So now, because Vybz Kartel and his lawyer made them look incompetent and they can't do their job, they're going to justify keeping him in jail to cool them emotions and cool them feelings and try to make it right and try to make it look like they're able to do their jobs properly, when in truth and in fact, all of them have already made up their mind to do what they want to do, regardless of what the Privy Council said. And I think they're going to retry him and they're going to keep him in jail until the retrial starts. And I think that they're going to drag this case out for as long as they possibly can. But with that being said, I'm going to keep watching this because I want to hear if this Supreme Court Justice Andrea Thompson is going to actually come out and say exactly where in the Constitution this is okay, exactly where this is right in Jamaica's law books and all of that. Where Cause this could never fly in nowhere. Not in America, not in England, not in Canada. This, I'm sure the Privy Council judges are looking and laughing like Jamaica are just we bad picnic them, we're disobedient, we don't hear. But with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.